What's up, DC Squad? So today we're going to be taking all of the different extremities from the Super-Luthor Collect and Connect figure, and we're going to be putting them together to make the final figure in the wave. So the first thing we got to do is take that torso, get that in hand, and then we're going to put the arms on. I like to do the arms first. So here we go. Get in the hole. Wow, that hole is very tight. We just shove it in there. Oh, okay. So it clicks. A nice hard click. And that is not coming out anytime soon. That's good. Nice and tight. Next one in there. Oh, wow. All right, so the next pieces we're going to want to put on are the legs. So let's put on the left leg first. Very good. And then let's put on the right leg. Very good. So now we've got all of his limbs on the figure here. And let's stick the head on. Which head are we going to put on? We're going to put on the regular Luthor? Or are we going to put on the Apocalyptian Lord of Apocalypse Luthor? Let's put on the regular Luthor first. That just seems like the right thing to do. And this should just... That's a nice tight fit. There we go. It's on there. Yeah. Very, very cool. And of course, we have to put his cape on. And that just slots right in the back like that. Very, very simple. Ta-da! Build a figure Super-Luthor. So now that we've got all the pieces on the Luthor, I guess there needs to be some explanation as to why Luthor is wearing a super suit. And that's because there was a time in DC Comics history where Luthor was trying to apparently honor the memory of the death of the New 52 Superman. Although this one doesn't have the red S on the back of the cape. But that's because Superman had some rewritten timeline stuff when the New 52 and the Rebirth Superman merged and made the Superman Reborn Superman, which then turned into the Superman that we still have. It was a mixture of the New 52 and the pre-New 52 Superman. See, if you don't read comics, you've probably already gone cross-eyed saying, what? What? Now, having the cape removed, I just want to focus on the power armor itself and get a nice close-up look for you of the whole suit put together. And I think that Mattel has done a really good job of recreating that battle armor that he was wearing during this time period. This mixture of typical Luthor battle armor and apocalyptian tech to come up with this hyper-powered battle armor. I think the details actually look pretty accurate to what he was wearing all the way around. It looks pretty darn good. Yeah, Mattel definitely gets points for accuracy. Is it perfect? Absolutely not, but heck, even DC Collectibles sometimes doesn't do things exactly how they look in the comic books. In this case, it's definitely passable, and I'm satisfied with this level of detail. Now, moving on to articulation, this Luthor has a lot of articulation, but it is limited in some ways. So let's start with the head, though. The head actually does have a lot of articulation around and round, obviously, because it's on a ball joint. But then you've also got a neck hinge. And Mattel has decided to bestow upon this figure a neck hinge for looking down, and also quite far back. So when you couple that with his ab crunch, you can get him into some pretty decent flight poses there. He can look straight forward, which is one thing that a lot of us look for in a flight figure, the ability to look forward when they fly. He's also got a waist swivel 360, which you would expect from a figure in the multiverse. He's got the shoulders, which are on swivel hinges, which again, you would expect. The pauldrons, the shoulder pauldrons do get in the way. If you want to have him flying with his arms up, that just ain't gonna look right, because those shoulder pauldrons, they really should have attached the shoulder pauldrons to the actual shoulder here, as opposed to the torso. He's got the bicep swivel, which you would expect. Round and round, turny, single jointed elbows. No swivel at the elbow, just a single joint. He's got a swivel wrist, which you can see here does not have a hinge. And then moving down from the waist here, in the groin, we can see that he's got the ball jointed groin, as we've come to expect from the multiverse. A thigh cut rotation, double jointed knees that are really crunchy. I like these double jointed knees. And then he's got the hinged ankle pivot. So there's a lot of articulation in the ankle of this figure. So this action figure does have a lot of articulation. However, of note, I do want to point out that these shoulder pauldrons are going to be getting in the way. They're going to make posing this figure just a little bit awkward. And as far as having double jointed elbows goes, I'm not sure how much that would have helped, because he's got these giant biceps. You know, I kind of get why they didn't put double jointed elbows on this character, and I'm okay with it. I'm just happy that there are double jointed knees and that there are ankle pivots on this figure. Let's also pop on the Lord of Apocalypse Luthor head there. You know what? Oddly enough, I kind of like it better with that head sculpt on. It adds to the flow of the suit. I think it looks really cool. And of course he's got the mother box, but you can't really, I mean, he doesn't really have a hand to hold on to the mother box. Like, it seems like kind of a pointless accessory, you know, for a figure to come with for the Super-Luthor. They really could have maybe instead put a different accessory in there that people were asking for. Like, whoever this came with, I believe Harley Quinn came with this. It would have been cooler if they put in maybe one of the Clayface pieces or something like that, but because he can't really hold it. I mean, it's cool, I'll use this for other stuff, but it doesn't really make sense for him because his hands don't open to hold on to it. Which is weird because he's supposed to be the kind of character who you would expect to have a mother box, but nope, no open hands. And here for comparative view, we've got the new 52 on the one side and the post-rebirth, post-reborn Action Comics 1000 and onward Superman. I had to customize them because they haven't made one yet, but you get an idea of scale just from these two figures here. He's definitely larger than a regular DC Universe Classic scale figure. Actually, Multiverse figures in general are larger than the DC Universe Classics by a little bit. You can still sub them in and you can mix them, they still look good, but they definitely are larger. Blue Box Multiverse, let me clarify. The Blue Box Multiverse figures in general are a larger action figure. And then for the second comparison, I've got him alongside two other DC Universe Classics Lex Luthors. This one was originally released under the DC Superheroes label and then again under the DC Universe Classics, reminiscent of the 80s Power Armor. And this one comes from the Gotham City 5-pack, which was just loaded with variant exclusives. Either way, as you can see, he definitely is a little bit bigger in scale. Don't let the Power Armor size throw you off. This Luthor is just a little bit taller and a little bit bigger, and you can see by the size of his head that he really is just a little bit bigger in scale. Just a little. Alright, so now that we've finished the comparisons, I suppose at the end of the video here, I'll just kind of give my opinions on what I feel about this figure. The paint apps were clean, the articulation is definitely good enough for me, and the fact that he's the first and likely the only of his kind makes him, for me, a must-buy. Even if I didn't buy the wave, I just wanted 3 figures from the wave, or whichever, I would probably have hunted down the pieces to put together Super-Luthor. But as always, these are just the ideas, opinions, and insights of one action figure collector, and I'm sure you're going to have your own, so please, I invite you to leave them down in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please leave a like on it. If you want to see more from my channel, hit the subscribe button. Remember to doink the bell so that you can get notified when I put out new videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Have an awesome day, super friends. Take care.